Hello, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while, but I'm here to do a 6-month post-op fibroadenoma surgery removal shebang. I've had quite a lot of questions and I've been asked quite a few times to do a 6-month post-op, so I thought that is what I would do, as it is coming up 6 months in about 3 weeks, so very close. Sorry if I'm looking down, I have my notepad full of questions and bits I want to cover. So yeah, if you want to follow me on my Instagram handle is @itssarahjane. It has changed, so yeah, I post daily on there, but yeah. So as you're aware, it has been 6 months already since I got my fibroadenoma removed. I also want to apologise, I have been saying it wrong. I think I was saying it fibroadenemia. It's not, it's fibroadenoma. Not that it matters too much, but you know, I just thought I'd say it right then say it wrong. So questions I have been asked from comments on my last videos. I've written them all down. The first question I got was, did I have any swelling or discomfort in the underarm area? So in previous videos I have put photos up of what my scar looked like straight after surgery, and maybe a couple of days after my surgery. As I remember, there wasn't much swelling. It was bruised and kind of like sensitive to touch, but only for the first like month. After that, it really wasn't that bad. I didn't have any swelling. Discomfort wise, you've just been cut into and had a large thing of muscle taken out of you, so you would be uncomfortable. It's not for ages. You get used to it and you kind of, you know, just tell people around you like, oh, just be careful, like, you know, the whole thing's going on. But yeah, discomfort wise, it was a bit uncomfortable, but only for the first couple of weeks, and I didn't have any swelling. That might have just been me. You might have swelling, but obviously if there is swelling, it probably won't be much and it will go down quite quick. The second question I got was, how big was it? So I've said in previous videos, when I first got it diagnosed, it was 6 centimeters by 2 centimeters, which is still classed as a giant fibroadenoma, but it was probably like this big. I'll put a photo of it here. That was when it was first diagnosed, and then just before I got it removed, it was this big, which they changed the measurements to 87 millimeters, which obviously it's gotten like 3 times its size in a year. It grew kind of over lockdown, because it was this year. Well, yeah, it was 6 months ago I got it removed, so it was kind of over lockdown where it grew and it got quite big. I don't remember it growing, I just remember waking up one day and it being massive, so I either wasn't paying attention properly to the size of the lump or what, but it can't grow triple its size overnight, so it probably wasn't me a problem. But yeah, it was quite big, which is why I did end up getting it removed. Obviously it was uncomfortable to sleep on, to lie on. Wearing bras, I could never find a bra that fit, and with the underwire it kind of hit that same point. It was just, I felt a bit self-conscious, you know, one boob was bigger than the other. It was just, yeah, I preferred to have it removed. Obviously I did get it removed through COVID, so I wasn't expecting the world of the NHS, and I did understand obviously if they couldn't do the operation quite like straight away, and I was prepared to wait a good year or two, obviously to be put on a list. But the NHS were really good. I literally was had a consultation with the doctor, and she said to me first, she was like, well, we don't know if you'll get you in because of COVID, and obviously there's more important surgeries and more life-threatening, which I completely understand. So, you know, and then I got a letter a couple of weeks later saying I had another consultation with a surgeon, and she said, yep, they're down to get it removed within the next 3 weeks. So I literally only waited 3 weeks, and it was really good. Obviously the NHS were amazing. I couldn't thank the staff more. They were so you know, welcoming, inviting. They just made me feel comfortable. I didn't feel embarrassed or stressed about anything. So yeah, all good. What was the shape of it, and was there any texture with it? So the shape of it, with my hand, it was probably like this. It was mine was massive personally. Obviously when it was first diagnosed, it was still, it's like a ball, but like a misshaped ball, kind of like a deflated ball, but it was rock hard. I could squeeze it a little bit, like there was like a tiny bit of like fat or muscle around it, but you couldn't squeeze it that much without it like not hurting but just being uncomfortable. It was kind of like lumpy but not too lumpy. It felt like muscle. Like, if I don't have any muscle in my arm whatsoever, but if you have a bit of muscle in your arm and you like go to the gym and you work out, if you like press on that and you can feel the muscle, that's kind of what it felt like, but as a big hard ball. Because it is just a ball of muscle that has accumulated over time. So essentially it is that, and it does feel like muscle. But other than that, I can't really describe it. It was just a hard ball of round muscle. Like, you could feel the lumps, but it wasn't like lumpy. But yeah, that's obviously the best I can answer that question, because it's been so long since obviously I felt it, and that's how I remember it being. Has the scar healed well? Yes, I think the scar has healed well. The first 2 months I was using bio oil on it, and then I kind of just fell out of the loop of it. I need to put it back on again. It's just I didn't really see anything happening with the bio oil. I probably wasn't using it long enough or using it correctly, but yeah, I do need to get back on it. I personally don't care too much about a scar, because it's a scar. At the end of the day, it's you, it's part of you. If people don't like that, or people are disgusted by it, then that's their problem, that's not a you problem, and you don't want them in your life anyway if they're disgusted by things like that. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about the scar. You can't really see it unless I'm wearing like a bikini or a top that shows side boob, but again, I'm not really fussed, and I think that yeah, the scar has healed okay. I'll put a picture of what it looks like. I took this picture this morning, this is recent, but that is what it looks like, and it's still kind of red. Obviously that will die down, and it's only been 6 months, so it's still kind of, it looks new, it looks fresh, but it's not. The last question I have is, what do I suggest? So obviously, put my notepad away because that's all the questions. What do I suggest? I think it's your body, it's obviously your choice, whatever you decide to do with it. My fibroadenoma personally was so big, I just couldn't live with it. If you have a small one that isn't classed as a fibroadenoma and you don't really notice it, and no one can really tell, and it doesn't bother you that much, then I wouldn't get it removed. But if yours is as big and uncomfortable as mine, or just you find uncomfortable, you just don't want it to be there, you feel, you know, self-conscious about it, which you shouldn't do because it's your body, but you know, if you feel like you want to get it removed because it's a good choice for you, then I say go for it. My surgery, you know, I was first on the list, so I was in and out. It was really quick. I was in at 7 in the morning and I was out by 1. I couldn't thank the NHS more. It really is like a wow. It's the first time I properly used the NHS. I've never really been to the hospital other than like being born. But yeah, it's the first time I properly used them. So very grateful for them. At the end of the day, it's what makes you happy. I was fine with the surgery. I'm not really a squeamish person anyway, so I don't mind being like uncomfortable for a couple days and sore, and like, you know, dealing with the scar and the bleeding and stuff like that. I didn't really mind. So it was just a quick process. I was honestly just in and out, and then it was just healing from there. I went back to the doctors 3 weeks later, and she looked at it just to make sure it was healing properly and that there wasn't any infections, which there wasn't, so that was a quick appointment. You know, she was in and out of the room. But other than that, I don't really know what else to suggest. If you have any questions, any more questions, pop them down below. Obviously I'm very open, so if you have any questions in the world at all, it doesn't matter. Don't feel embarrassed. If you don't want to put them in the comments because you feel embarrassed and you don't want to be public about it, then just DM me on my Instagram. It will stay confidential, and obviously I will try and give my best advice, but I'm not qualified in any way to give medical advice. Yeah, I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!